Afya House chief's doctored organ trafficking dossier. That's a big story there on the front page. It's an ongoing probe. A member of a government team that investigated suspicious kidney transplants at Eldoret's Medihill Hospital has sensationally claimed that the final report was altered to exclude damning findings, deepening the controversy surrounding a scandal that put the lives of many Kenyans in grave danger. So who was behind this interference and for what reason? The story is on page 3 of this paper. So there was discovery of interference, and many people at the Ministry of Health wamesema msituhusishe. So poor Kenyans got 294,000 shillings for a kidney. Yes. Which was then sold for about 3.2 million shillings. Hata angepata hata milioni moja.
Wanaenda wanadanganywa pale.
Unapeana kidney for less than 300,000. Inaenda inauzwa for more than 3 million. More than 10 times.
So what they tell you is they're giving you around 2 million, 1.2 million, but then they give you half of it, half or a third of it. So it's on the side of the
Mkenya ukimwambia kuna pesa mahali atakupatia.
Yes.
Hata ukimwambia kupatia macho umlipe atakupatia.
Atakupea. Hakuna kazi, hakuna pesa.
Oh no.
Sasa complications wamekuwa nazo sana. And Medihill, this is not the first time, last year as well, in 2023 as well. So questions are arising as to why they're still in operation.
And I saw a documentary, I think, was it DW or one of these international media houses talking about some of these cases of organ trafficking from Kenya.
Yeah.
It's actually very rampant. Another story given prominence on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning, inside radical changes to school exams. A new bill, this is the Kenya National Educational Assessments Council, KNEAC Bill 2025, that is to be presented to Parliament soon, proposes radical changes to the management and administration of national exams and assessments, even as the country continues to implement the new competency-based curriculum. So what exactly are they talking about? This story is on page 10 of this paper on matters education. So this is a new bill. The Kenya National Educational Assessments Council Bill proposes an overhaul of testing learners to usher in technology such as electronic marking, AI-powered scoring, real-time assessments, and tougher penalties for cheats. Yes. So, yeah, the bill is one of the 11 that the ministry has prepared to effect recommendations made in June 2023. Matters education there. The other story, Korir and Tutu accused of defrauding landowners out of 2.7 billion shillings SGR payout. This is the land's PS Nixon Korir and Narok South MP Kitilai Olen Tutu. Petitioners in case are filed by Professor PLO Lumumba. Hey, so wanasema senior government officials, including a PS and a member of parliament, have been taken to court over the alleged embezzlement of more than 2.7 billion shillings disbursed by the government to compensate hundreds of residents evicted to pave the way for construction of the ultra-modern SGR terminus. That story is on page 8 of this paper. End of an era, state now moves to close down children's homes. The story is on page 2. About 1,000 children's homes will cease to exist following an order by the state that explores new ways of care for this vulnerable group. So the debate will continue on where will the children be taken. CBK lifts ban on licensing of new commercial banks. That's the Daily Nation.
All right. Tuangalie People Daily, how Gen Zs are minting cash online, janta legit. Now frustrated by a bad government and tired with conventional thinking that rendered their parents poor and dependent, young people have embraced new ways of doing business and they are making money. Jana tuliona kwamba a lot of Gen Zs actually wako pale TikTok wakiuza mitumba, which is booming and doing very, very well. Sahi nasikia kuna mambo ya Aviator, which is taking over the Gen Zs as well.
Mambo ya?
Aviator.
Aviator, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So Gen Zs squarely are minting cash online.
And you remember that story about Gen Zs being the biggest spenders?
Yes.
That it is anticipated they'll spend about 4.4 trillion shillings in this year. So wako na pesa.
Watu ambio wanatoa wapi jamani? Other stories here on the front page of the People Daily. Mudavadi, we are better after Ruto-Raila alliance. Of course, drumming up support for the broad-based government. Do not discuss Kenya's military. President wants citizenry.
This is a very interesting assertion by the president. Ati tusizungumzie jeshi.
Yes.
Ukisikia jeshi unanyamaza, usiongee kuhusu jeshi tafadhali. What exactly does the president mean?
Yes.
Tusizungumzie jeshi.
Alisema that the president defended the military over recent claims of doubling in politics, saying the Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, is professional and a cornerstone of peace and stability in the country. Other stories here on the top strip: how DCI is spying on you in social media. Sasa ukifanya bookmarks pale za kishenzi, DCI
wanajua mambo yako. Unfit but approved. That's the front page of the Standard this morning. It talks about the vetting of CS nominees. Wanaitwa dry cleaners. Parliament has lived up to its tag of being the executive's laundromat. While legislators had serious concerns about several cabinet appointees, they chose to look the other way and rubber stamp President William Ruto's choices. There were murmurs and protests, but all that now stands between the new team and office is a swearing-in ceremony. To be announced soon. Yesterday they released a special gazette notice officially appointing the two people whose faces appear on the front page of this paper. That's Geoffrey Ruku and the other nominee, Cheptumo, for gender and for public service and gender respectively. So some of their words which MPs had questions with. Junaid Mohammed said, if you ask me, the Minister for Gender should be a man because gender cuts across. A man would have ensured the gender parity is properly mainstreamed. Otiende Amolo said Article 152 is clear that a cabinet secretary shall not be a member of parliament. Ruku should not have come to the House. His presence today raises questions. So he's yet to resign even as a member of parliament. If girls had economic power, they would not depend on either gender. Hannah Cheptumo, that's the now CS, yet to be sworn in CS for gender. And Millie Odhiambo says it is unfortunate that this is a ministry where in a short time we've rejected 3 cabinet secretaries. I'm not saying she's incompetent. She's a very competent lawyer, but when we assign someone such a sensitive role, we must be deliberate. Yet unfit, but approved. Paleju, kidney for pennies, price of desperation. Poor Kenyans have been caught up in a web of global organ black market, and it is taking a toll on many. Some have sold their kidneys for a few coins, and their health is now in tatters. That story, we've seen it on the front page of the Daily Nation. It's also there on the front page of the Standard. Kosewe in the soup of a wife's demand. This one looks interesting. Let's read. I remember this gentleman had been shot some years back. There's trouble at Nairobi's famous Kosewe Ranalo food restaurant. Historical page 3. Read it for yourself. On the back page of this paper, they talk about gap too big for Dortmund after first leg. Barcelona walikanyaga ile team inaitwa Dortmund. So 5-3 on aggregate. Barcelona progress to the semi-finals. Aston Villa versus PSG. PSG won on aggregate 5-4 to progress to the semi-final, where they'll face Arsenal, who yesterday beats Real Madrid on aggregate 5-2.
Team kubwa.
Team kubwa pale, team kubwa, Arsenal. Congratulations. So yes, wale watu wa Mani wanaongea kelele mingi nyenye, hawatatulia leo. Na kwa EPL wako number 21. Tuendelee na magazeti. Business
Daily. Gen Z block pension comes for under 50s. The Retirement Benefits Authority, that is RBA, has ditched its push to block workers from accessing their pension savings before age 50, following opposition from young employees. Now, the regulator is now proposing that workers allowed access to up to 40% of their retirement savings before clocking 50 years in changes targeted in the July Finance Bill. The law currently allows workers under 50 access to half of their pension benefits when they change jobs. And this law has eroded pension savings once the RBA leaving workers with inadequate savings upon retirement. But the younger workers opposed changes to the law during public review of the draft regulations that pushed for the removal of clauses. Kenya eyes 112.2 billion World Bank AFDB loans for budget. That story on the military is also given prominence here on the front page of the Business Daily. Ruto defends military and political meddling claims. The military cadets conduct their drill during their commissioning parade at the Kenya Military Academy in Lanet in this photo. That was in Nakuru County yesterday. And 309 cadets were commissioned in the ceremony, presided over by President William Ruto, where the president defended the military over recent claims of dabbling in politics, saying the KDF is professional and a cornerstone of peace and stability in the country. On the ticker, bill gives affordable home loan defaulters a short window. CBK ends 10-year freeze on licensing of new commercial banks. And investor appetite pushes NSE bond turnover up by 46%. And that's the Business Daily.
All right, from the Business Daily, we take a look at Taifa Leo. Anasema maswala ya CDF, Raila achokoza nyuki. Wabunge wamtoa jasho waziri wa fedha na kutishia kususia vikao vyao. Kulingana na katiba yenyewe inafafanua wazi majukumu ya wabunge na magavana. Mahakama zimeamua mara si moja kwamba wabunge hawapaswi kusimamia hazina ya ustawi ya maeneo bunge. Kiongozi wa ODM Raila Odinga, ambaye ni mtetezi sugu wa mfumo wa ugatuzi, amenukuliwa akisema hilo ni jukumu la serikali za kaunti. Wabunge sasa wanamlaani vikali kwa kuwatoa nyama mdomoni. Habari kamili kwenye ukurasa wa pili wa gazeti hili. Raila alisema hivi: wabunge hawapaswi kuwa na jukumu la kutekeleza miradi. Hiyo ni kazi ya serikali za kaunti. CDF inapaswa kukabidhiwa magavana ili kuondoa mgongano wa maslahi. Unaona kama watakubali? Wabunge tu wawache, CDF waachie magavana ama mtu yeyote mwingine. Vidokezo zaidi kwenye ukurasa wa mbele wa gazeti hili wanasema zogo kuhusu makaburi jijini la Tokota. Kaunti ya pinga pendekezo kuhusu kufungwa kwa makaburi ya Lang'ata. Lang'ata Cemetery imejaa. Wanasema sasa tuifunge tu. There's a time there was a proposal by a former governor. He was governor there of Nyandarua. You see this area after Kijabe where there's so many trees, that's in Nyandarua County. So the governor there proposed to create a high-end cemetery there where any Kenyan who wills and has the money can buy space and bury their kin there. Aliambiwa na watu wa Nyandarua, so hiyo ndo the most brilliant idea umekuja nayo. Hiyo ndo umefikiria. Umekaa tu chini ukafikiria hiyo. Enda nyumbani. And that was the end.
He went.
That was the end. Kwingineko ni siasa za usaliti katika Mlima Kenya. Hali ya kisiasa mlimani inafiki maana ni msemo hakuna adui wa kudumu siasani. Na Biden akosoa vikali sera za Rais Trump. Biden amezungumza.
Alitetea walemavu na wazee ambao hutengewa zaidi ya shilingi trilioni 181 kila mwaka.
Pale juu fidia shilingi milioni 6 kwa lori baharini. Mfanyabiashara kulipwa pesa hizo kwa lori lililotumbukia ndani ya bahari. Na PSG Barca nusu finali ya UEFA, wengine ni Arsenal na mwingine ni nani? Inter Milan. No, sio Inter, ni Arsenal na nani? Wale wengine walikuja. Hii ni mara ya kwanza kwa Barca baada ya miaka 6. Wako nusu finali, lakini Arsenal watakutana na PSG. Barca watakutana na nani? Tutajua baadaye.
Dortmund?
Wale wameshinda Dortmund nani? Si ni Barcelona. Wale wengine ni wajana. So those are the topics or the headlines on the front page of Taifa Leo. The Star sasa.
The Star MPs defy Raila CDF storm brews. Here's masuala ya CDF. Uko National Assembly. Courts have declared CDF unconstitutional, but MPs have clung to it. This is on page 6 of the Star. Wanasema kwamba MPs including ODM troops have defied their party boss Raila Odinga's call to disband the National Government Constituency Development Fund as a big clash looms over the multi-billion shilling kitty. The details have emerged as the government gave in to pressure from the lawmakers and released 7 billion shillings for the fund, with Treasury CS John Mbadi promising a similar amount in 2 weeks. Jana Mbadi aliona moto hapo National Assembly. And for 2 consecutive days, a tough-talking Raila said CDF alongside other resources like road maintenance levy must be given to county governments. He's quoted here saying the courts declared CDF unconstitutional, but MPs have clung to it. They must stop it. This is something I will be speaking about very strongly. If MPs don't abolish this thing, it will be an election agenda. Once again, MPs defy Raila over CDF billions as a storm gathers. Spotlight on multi-billion shilling tech contracts. Electronic travel authorization, that is ETA, eCitizen, Hustler Fund, SHIF, IFMIS, that is billions spent on upgrade and software renewals, and NEMIS, that of course is the Education Ministry, has no ownership rights. Users cannot independently manage student data or verify system integrity. Other stories, KWS rescues and treats giraffe with maggot-infested wound at Meru. And Nyama Mama owners sue bank for 2 billion shillings compensation. They say owners of popular Nyama Mama restaurant have sued seeking 2 billion shillings from Victoria Commercial Bank for wrongful prosecution. They say Nina Shangavi and her husband Jayesh Shangavi want the court to find that their constitutional rights and freedoms were violated through their criminal prosecution. The two in 2021 were charged with a 520 million shillings loan fraud, in which the bank claimed the two and the firm Good Earth Group Limited cost it to execute a charge on an apartment to secure the cash. That story on Nyama Mama is on page 9 of the Star, and that's the Star, fresh, independent, and different.
All right, and yes, clarification on UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Barcelona will now face Inter Milan as Arsenal face Paris Saint-Germain. So yes, timu kubwa kubwa kule Europe, timu ndogo ndogo wakae chini and learn. Matters caricature. Tunaanza na katuni ya Daily Nation leo. Na hii sijaelewa vizuri, but I can tell it's a debate between counties and members of the National Assembly. Issues to do with the revenue allocation, CDF. Raila Odinga says on one hand, actually CDF ipewe county. Yeah. Yet members of the National Assembly who have been given opportunity to actually decide how much money should go to counties want less money to actually go to counties. Yeah. So counties pale zimeshikiliwa, lakini wale wanasema I will be happy to have you on a short leash too. Hao ni magavana wanaangalia vile kunaenda. So huyu ameshikilia nani? Sielewi. Hii ni bunge imeshikilia counties, lakini magavana wako nje.
Ambona socks ni ya UDA. Okay.
Oh, so this is a big seat, and he has a leash on Parliament, and he's hoping to have a leash on county governments too. Ashikilie wote, a control yote. All right, nimeipata sasa. That's a cartoon on the Daily Nation. I think it's the only cartoon we have today. All right.
Labda, we still have time. Maybe you can take a look at the traffic.
Yes, yes, we have the cartoon on the People Daily there.
Mkubwa anasema, if you are the one who converts water into pure legit wine, please convert my small salary into riches. The biblical Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. Imetumika pale. Ni polisi wanaomba pale waongezewe salaries, and one is quoted here saying, according to NIS reports, stay away for your own safety. So this is the police boss anaambia polisi mdogo, stay away for your own safety.
Mapolisi wanahitaji, unajua ni wakati wa Easter. Forgiveness comes during Easter. Hawa maneno yao wanajulikana mambo mingi wamefanya. As Jesus enters Jerusalem, mapolisi wako na mambo wangependa kuongea.
Yes. All
right, I think we have some time. We can take a look at the traffic situation in Nairobi to see if at all it has changed significantly since we took and a sneak peek. You can actually see already pale Muthaiga, Pangani interchange. It's a long stretch of red into that interchange as you head towards Murang'a Road. So yes, hapo iko shida kidogo, but sio mbaya because Thika Road kule juu between Githurai and Kasarani, another long stretch of yellow, meaning it's moving but a bit slow. Not so bad there. Tuende kule Kangundo Road bado hajaamka, and it's so surprising because I don't know what changed for Kangundo Road. Ilikuwanga ni shida kila asubuhi, kila kuchao. Further Outer Ring Road, pia nothing much, but at least Jogoo Road you can see a significant change. Makadara to all the way to Mbotela is a long stretch of red and a bit of yellow, meaning there's a snarl up there. Ile traffic ya Landis Road imeisha, sasa imemove kule ndani ya town pale Haile Selassie Avenue. next to railway bus station na Marikiti. So pale Muthurwa iko tu sawa. Kwingineko on the other side of town, nothing much to report. So that's the traffic situation. Sio mbaya sana. Today being a Thursday and the eve of Good Friday, ni kama watu washaenda off there.
Wameenda.
Today is a new Friday. Sababu kesho ni Good Friday.
Yes.
So leo ni ile Friday ya kawaida.
Leo ni Friday. Hadi Sunday it's Friday. All the way to Sunday.
All right. After the break, State of the Nation.
Top Indar will be in studio with us later on. Yes. Meanwhile, interact with us on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube, and X at TV47 News KE. My handle is at @Ann_Dida. The hashtag is Morning Cafe.
My handle is at Fred Indimuli. See you after the break.
Umri wa miaka 32 anaongoza mojawapo ya wizara muhimu humu nchini.
Eric Mureithi Muga.
And I'm grateful for the opportunity actually to serve. Because coming where I've come from, to ever sit here is by grace.
Akiwa amelelewa katika maisha ya kawaida tu kutoka kaunti ya Meru, anasema liwe liwalo atalainisha wizara ya maji na unyunyiziaji maji mashamba.
The problem of this country is not that we lack water. Ile shida tuko nayo kubwa ni kwa sababu yale maji yetu Mungu akitujalia mvua yanaishia kuwa katika our internal lakes, maziwa yetu madogo.
Alhamisi hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi nitakuwa nikikuletea story na historia ya kiwaziri wa maji Eric Muga Mureithi na mimi Elizabeth Mutuko. Usikose.
One of us should be givers with a revelation, because when you give with a revelation, you attract the blessings.
Join us from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a live church experience to ignite your soul. You do not want to miss out.
The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It is whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Barack Obama.
Ojano is people. I got reason. I got good reason to believe so. Yeah man, ever living, ever faithful, ever sure, Jajaranting. Each and every Saturday night from 10 p.m. inside TV47, because I Revive comes to you live, hosted by yours truly, Shut Up Boy, Selector Henry Bandi 1s and 2s, Selector Wiz Bandi 1s and 2s, na madansa wa kulipwa, wanaanguka na.
Keep the fire burning.
Older ladies, we gotta keep it together. If not, you're gonna die old.
It has been quite hard to find someone.
Love, by the way, si kitu ati inakuwaga na age.
I'm 47 years.
I'm 47.
I'm turning 41.
The ideal partner for my mom is a loyal one.
Sio mnono, sio mkonda.
Asikuwe na kipara ati azina kobald.
Personally mimi niko na tabia mzuri, naweza hotspot zangu kaa yeye hana.
My first impression when I saw Brian. We know the Bryans.
I forgot your name, remind me again.
Me, I work out to look good while naked.
How you want some kids with me and you got a set of twins out there that you're not fighting for.
Hey kids and families, get ready for the most fun-packed show around, Kids on the Block. Join us for awesome music, magical storytime adventures, and super cool arts and crafts. Plus, we pop tasty treats in our cooking corner. Learn, laugh, and create with us. Kids on the Block, where every day is a brand new adventure. Don't miss it.
one ingredient ice cream. Turn frozen bananas
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth, as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50 going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za
Order.
Appearing before the National Assembly on Wednesday afternoon, the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury John Mbadi was hard-pressed by MPs to release 21 billion shillings for the National Constituency Development Fund's CDF monies that were to be sent from January.
I want to persuade members to allow me, not for next week, because next week I know the kind of commitments we have, but the following week, latest by 29th, that we make another disbursement of 7 billion. And I want to tie that to respond to Honorable Kainan on the question that you raised, whether the mandarins would mislead me. The advantage you have is that the CS of the National Treasury is an accountant and is an auditor. And therefore, I cannot be misled. It's not possible.
On Tuesday, the House business in the National Assembly was nearly disrupted as the legislature suspended other proceedings to demand the immediate release of the Constituency Development Fund and National Government Constituencies Development Fund (CDF) funds. The legislators had threatened to boycott the afternoon session in protest over the delayed release of the funds.
A lot of college and university students, most of them missed exams because we did not facilitate their bursaries. They will be forced to defer a whole year. A whole year. So how are you going to restitute that? That these students have been deferred and they continue now to live the way they live.
Otherwise, this is just going to be in circles. This is another promise, and we are not going to achieve anything. It is the members of parliament who are being hogwashed out there in the constituencies. Honorable Speaker, let the CS give us a clear roadmap.
CS John Mbadi has promised that the release of at least 68 billion shillings will be done by the end of this year. The CS has attributed the delay of funds for the last 3 months that the government has been committed in paying external loans as well as releasing the capitation fee for education. For the financial year 2023-2024, out of the 57 billion shillings, only 44 billion shillings was disbursed. CS Mbadi committed that he will be releasing at least 7 billion shillings every month to complete the 68 billion shillings by the end of the year 2025. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Yes, indeed. That's where we begin our conversation this morning on Morning Cafe. State of the Nation with me, Fred Indimuli. Matters to do with CDF and the billions of shillings that MPs have controlled for a while and seek to continue controlling despite the High Court saying the NG-CDF Act 2015 violated the principle of separation of powers. There's already a bill before Parliament. That's the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2025, which seeks to ring-fence the control of the CDF billions. Allow me to introduce my panelists, beginning on my immediate right. Dr. Peter Mbaye, leadership and governance expert. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Next to Dr. Mbaye, we have Mwalimu